Welcome students. Today we will start with NCERT Class 11 Economics Part A Chapter 2 Consumer's Equilibrium. So let's begin. First we will know what is consumer. Consumer is a person who buys goods and service for the satisfaction of wants. Every rational consumer tries to get maximum satisfaction by spending his or her given income on various goods and services given their prices. Next, utility analysis. Utility analysis was given by Alfred Marshall. It is based upon certain basic assumptions and they are as follows. Point number 1 is rationality. The consumer is assumed to be rational. Point number 2 is the cardinal measurability of utility. According to this analysis, the utility of each commodity is measurable and quantifiable. Point number 3 is diminishing marginal utility. The utility gained from successive units of a commodity diminishes. In other words, the marginal utility of a commodity diminishes as a consumer acquires larger quantity of it. Point number 4 is constant marginal utility. Another important assumption of utility analysis is the constancy of marginal utility of money. Next, the concept of utility. Utility is one satisfying power of a commodity. Utility differs from person to person, place to place, and time to time. In short, when a commodity is capable of satisfying human wants, we can say that the commodity has utility and measure. Utility is different from usefulness. For example, quinine possesses utility for a malaria patient, yet it does not provide any pleasure to the patient as it is bitter in taste. Utility can be of two types. They are total utility and marginal utility. Total utility. It is the total satisfaction derived from consumption of given quantity of a commodity at a given time. In other words, it is the sum total of marginal utility. Marginal utility. It is the change in total utility resulting from the consumption of an additional unit of a commodity. In other words, it is the utility derived from each additional unit. Next, relationship between marginal utility and total utility. Total utility is the sum total of marginal utility. In the first unit of a commodity, total utility and marginal utility are same. As total utility start increasing, marginal utility start decreasing. When total utility is maximum, marginal utility is zero. When total utility start decreasing, marginal utility become negative. Next, law of diminishing marginal utility. Other things being equal, the law of diminishing marginal utility states that as more and more units of a commodity are consumed, marginal utility derived from subsequent units of the commodity goes on decreasing. According to Alfred Marshall, the additional benefit which a person derives from a given increase of his stock of a thing diminishes with every increase in stock that he already has. Assumption of the law. The law of diminishing marginal utility is based on following assumptions and they are as follows. Point number 1 is homogeneity. For example, if the quantity or quality of the second roti is superior than the first, the consumer may obtain more utility from the second roti. Point number 2 is continuity. For example, if a person consumes first roti in the morning and the second one in the evening, it will not reach in the diminishing of marginal utility. It is because of the fact that his hunger may have increased meanwhile. Causes of operation. The main reasons behind the operation of the law are as follows. Point number 1 is satisfaction of particular wants. For example, a person's desire for drinking milk can be fully satisfied if he continues increasing quantity of the commodity. Having reached the point, the use of one more unit of the commodity will yield zero marginal utility. Point number 2 is commodities are not perfect substitutes. For example, if the consumer goes on increasing the quantity of butter with a constant supply of bread, very soon he will reach the stage when he shall not have enough bread to spread his butter on. Then successive increment of butter would add less and less to his total enjoyment. Point number 3 is priority to important uses. For example, if we have one piece of cake, we shall give it to our baby. If we have two, the second we will give to the wife. The third will be kept for self-use, and the fourth we will offer to our mother-in-law. Next, explanation of the law. Satisfaction of human wants follows some very important law, and one of the law is the law of diminishing marginal utility. The law refers to the common experience of every consumers. According to this law, as more and more units of commodity are consumed, the extra utility that we derive from it goes on declining. The basic idea of the law will be clear from the following hypothetical example. You see here in this table, units of orange, marginal utility and total utility has been given. So in this table, when our hypothetical consumer takes the first unit of orange, he derives marginal utility equal to 10 units. As he continues to consume second, third and fourth unit of orange in successions, he derives less and less utility equal to 8, 6, 4 respectively. With the consumption of 6 units of orange, his marginal utility falls to 0. Now, if the consumer is forced to take more orange, his utility may be negative. As per above table, if the consumer is forced to take 7th unit of orange, his marginal utility will fall to 2. Thus, the consumer consumes more and more units of the commodity. His marginal utility for that commodity goes on diminishing and eventually it becomes 0. So, the above table has been expressed in the form of a diagram. So, in this diagram, MU is the marginal utility curve and TU is the total utility curve. MU curve falls continuously because with the increase in consumption, marginal utility falls. The diagram also shows the relationship between marginal utility and total utility. So long as marginal utility is positive, total utility increases when total utility is 0. Total utility is maximum, and when marginal utility is negative, total utility is falling. So students, the remaining topics we will continue in the next video. Thank you.